Hey, good morning. How are you doing? Yeah, yeah. Hey, good morning. How are you doing? Yeah. I need, oh, shit. I need coffee really badly, and I didn't have any, so I had to order some, which is fine because it's nice to have a little coffee delivery once in a while. Anyway, good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Wake and Bake with Lolo. Hi, hags. Hi, butterflies. Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Just take a look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. I should have been the reading rainbow lady. No, I should. Actually, I love the reading rainbow lady is just fine. Good morning, hags. Good morning, butterflies. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to the Wake and Bake. I gotta show you the chimney. Let's find a chimney watch here. Actually, shit's already happening. I hate to say it, but we've already got like a bunch of, uh, I've got some stuff that's already started, and it's just crazy cuckoo day. Happy Thursday. Hi, Lee. J Rance, good morning. Good morning. I'm trying to look for the place where I put the little chimneys on the screen. Yeah, yeah. There they are. All right, what's this? What's this? What's this? Okay, we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna move that. Na 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 na. Let's put it over here by the dinosaur. Yeah, yeah. Wait, that's not even playing. Ladies, what are we talking about today? What are we talking about? Hold on. I'm not really awake yet, as you all might not be awake yet either. Oh, geez. I don't know what that was. Okay, hi, good morning. Leaving shortly, but I'll be listening and excited for Popecella. We should know today. You think so? Really, Jay? You think it's going to be today? Interesting. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Okay. We're going to be poped up today? I love it. I love it. You are optimistic. Great. I love it. Well, safe travels to you, my dear. I have to keep my voice down. So can you guys could could no, my wonderful doctor did not call me back. I have to go into the office, I think. That's a good reminder. Thank you, butterflies. I need to remind I need to go in and do that. Maybe I could do that today after the show. I could probably do that. What is today? Thursday? Yeah. That's a good idea. They should be open on Thursdays. I mean, you know how doctors' offices like sometimes close on weird days? You ever have that? Like, we're not here Wednesdays. What? What do you mean you're not here Wednesdays? What are these ladies saying? Hold on, I just want to see.
Most of the operation was laying cables and finding, locations where we could put a repeater, like an antenna, to send the signal forward and then finally to a dish that would uplink it to the satellite. So now it is a much easier job, and we use units that are, wireless and upload video easily, also via internet, and we cover much more, stories and moments, and we feed more video than we used to. So it's an immense change.
Well, that is how we're
I
coming
know,
to you, of
babe.
course.
Thanks,
Tell me
butterflies.
about. I heard the story about an
know.
unusual piece of equipment that one of our journalists asked you to get for one of the past conclaves.
Yes,
Carrie, are you
the
here?
engineer in
I see
charge
you
of
come
the
in. Hi,
video, the
Carrie.
technology, the
There you
technical
are.
video operation at the time came to me and asked me to rent a
Looks
crane.
like
He said,
Orange Plan
"Maria,"
is going to
"can
go
you
live.
please
Yeah, I
rent a
have that.
crane? I need it tomorrow."
The UK.
And I said,
This is
well,
UK.
Yes, I can do it. We can do everything.
What Butterfly
Just explain
says,
to me
Lord,
what you need a crane
Lolo, put
for.
yourself first.
And he explained to me
I
that he
do. I
wanted a
feel like I put
crane.
myself first
This
all the
was after
time.
JP2
My
had
goodness.
died and the conclave was about to start.
Thank you.
To cable a signal, from the top of the crane down to.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's not interesting to me. I understand, Oh, and then Jerry dropped the cannoli. Like I don't care. I don't care about your little like conclave stories. I don't care. How about that? Yeah, we've got a few things. Let me tell you what's happening. First of all, CISA is having an oversight hearing right now with the new head of CISA, the cybersecurity. So that's kind of interesting. It's been going on for a minute. Then we also have at 7, I really want to watch the OpenAI founder testify. Hi, Neil. Good morning. I want to watch what's his name? Sam Altman on the OpenAI. Let's see what that asshole has to say. And then there's also a Department of State. Well, that's later. Sorry, that's later. What the hell's going on? Okay. And then, well, right now also, oh God, I just even hate to say his name. Kash Patel is testifying again in front of a Senate committee around the budget. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to make such a weird face. Let's see. Yeah. So there's. Okay. I want to check. I do have a delivery coming. They're here. Okay. So I'm going to put on, I hate to do this, but I'm going to put on Cashiap Patel. We don't like you here, sir, because you are such a fucking asshole. You are such a fucking asshole. Yeah.
The last 3
This
years
is a
and 2 years
budget
that has been
thing.
traded
I'm
down to
so
about 35
sorry.
and change because those
I'm
vacancies
so
have gone
sorry to leave
unfunded.
you with him.
And so we're not
But I got to go get my
in a
delivery.
position right now to say, let's just hire 3,000 people back. We couldn't do that if we even had the money tomorrow. That would take quite some time. And so we have been working on the numbers that we currently are at. And I think the budget that we've put forward
He just
would not
sounds
force
so
me to
like he just sounds so unprepared. Like he's so unprepared for this job. You know what I mean? Do you get that? I don't know if any of you, like when you work with people in the workplace, doesn't he seem like, no, this is today. This is right now. He's in front of the Senate. Nice, Badger, driving the back roads of Northumberland County. That sounds so wonderful. I heard that too, Neil. I heard that too. Yeah, this is unfortunately today. So I'm going to leave you for a second while I go get this coffee delivery. I'll be right back. I know, bougie bitch. All right, hold on. Good morning, Chudley McMuffins. Yeah, Chudley McStuffins up again.
move active duty line agents is the mission I'm protecting against.
Director, when you say the budget we've put together, you're talking about the skinny budget that we've
Right.
seen. Okay. What more would you be able to do if you're able to fill those vacancies?
If we were able to fill those vacancies, we would continue expanding upon the project that I started about reorienting assets across America and growing our facilities in places like Pocatello and Redstone and West Virginia, where we have CGIS and some other campuses. So those are things we could do.
Tell me what concerns you or I or the rest of us should have in the departure of senior members of the FBI if the budget is insufficient to fill positions. How do we keep senior officers from retiring?
I think, Senator, it's a problem everybody has. If people want to retire, they're going to retire. The good news is, from the folks that I've met in the Bureau, we've been able to retain significant levels of senior leadership, both in Washington and throughout the country. And so I think with the renewed mission that we have under this administration, folks are just standing in line to continue to take on the mission set, and they've adjusted over the last few years to doing more with less.
Director, I don't think it's part of the skinny budget, but there's a proposal afoot to increase the number of years, the calculation from 3 years to 5 years on retirement benefits. I'm told that has a consequence on people who are already eligible to retire, would perhaps decide to retire now despite their commitment to the FBI or other law enforcement agencies. Is that a concern?
Senator, I'm not read up on that, so I'll have to get back to you on that one specific.
And then finally, let me ask about the cooperation. What's your relationship, what's the FBI's relationship, your relationship as the director with other federal law enforcement agencies? It's always been my goal, and I've only succeeded once when I chaired this subcommittee before, to have not only the FBI director appear before us, but also DEA, ATF, and the U.S. Marshals. Would you, in their absence this morning, because they're not capable of being here, would you give us your rundown on the relationship between the FBI and other federal law enforcement agencies? What's the level of cooperation? And are they doing the job that helps you do yours as well?
It's incredible. And I'll just give you a simple example, Senator. One of the initiatives that we stood up at the FBI was the Homeland Security Task Force. And the first place we took it was the state of Virginia, just because of geography. And what we did was DEA, DHS, FBI, HSI, state, local authorities, Virginia state authorities, all nested in an FBI facility in the state of Virginia to cover down on what we call their first operation for Homeland Security Task Force. And it was a simple phone call to the leadership at the DEA, at DHS, at FBI. And I said, hey, I need 20 guys and gals here. I need 40 guys and gals here. And the governor said, we're going to give you 50. And what we did in 1 month was arrest 500 individuals and violent felons in the state of Virginia. And that's, to me, speaks to the quality of the relationship we have across the interagency. And we want to take that model to other states across this country, and that's what we're looking to do.
Thank you, Director. Senator Shaheen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Ranking Member Van Hollen and Chairman Collins, and thank you all for your nice comments. Welcome, Director Patel. The recently released 2025 Worldwide Threat Assessment identifies Chinese, Russian, and Iranian malign influence activities as continued problems that jeopardize U.S. democracy at home and leadership abroad. So I was concerned when I heard about the decision to dismantle our efforts to combat disinformation and misinformation, including the FBI-run Foreign Influence Task Force. So with the dismantling of this task force, how does the FBI intend to continue to combat malign influence campaigns, which is the threat identified
and why
by
are you such a weird-looking
community?
motherfucker?
Thank you, Senator. To put it most simply, that
Hi,
mission set is something
everyone. What
that
about a story about
multiple
US pushing
divisions in
nations
the FBI do 24/7, nonstop. That's been my experience since I got there. They've been, because of the malign influence campaigns and because of the prioritization and the intelligence apparatus to collect against them, we have been covering down on that as a priority one nonstop. And so I see it every day in my briefings, I see it every day in the field, and I see it in the cases.
Then why'd you get
indictments
rid of
we
the
bring.
agency?
So I don't know that I
Wait a
can't speak
minute.
to it before, but I haven't seen it slowed down since I was here.
Well, you gave an impressive list of some
That
of
sounds
the
like a nice
accomplishments
drive
of the
badge.
FBI since you took over. There was nothing about disinformation and misinformation on that list that I heard. Is there anything that you have seen in the time that you have been at the FBI that would suggest that you're continuing to make inroads to address that issue?
In terms of faulty intelligence collection, ma'am?
No, I'm in terms of disinformation and misinformation campaigns by our adversaries that are being used to disrupt activities in the United States, to sow divisions, to undermine our national security, to undermine the security of American citizens.
Understood. I see that on a daily basis, the FBI adjudicating those matters based on the intelligence we receive and
not
attacking
an
the
answer.
problem sets, not just here in the homeland, but abroad where they originate. And we are also using our cyber capabilities and our intel capabilities to thwart those adversaries' abilities to penetrate infrastructure,
Here's what I think.
including social media.
Okay. I just had an aha moment. Bye, Neil. Oh, love you. No internet access till tomorrow. Oh. Well, I hope you're having fun. He is disinformation. Let me tell you what my aha moment just was. Let me tell you what my aha moment just was. Okay, my aha moment was I need to have someone, and it could be me, it could be anybody. Well, no, it can't be anybody. But I need someone to fucking coach the staffers of these senators and representatives. Now, I understand. I understand that the the staffers are very intelligent, graduates, graduate, advanced degrees, right? Advanced degrees, all the things. I know that all of this is, they're smart. They're really smart people. They're lawyers. They're this, they're that. They're rising stars. Here's what my problem is over the last few years. Well, actually, since time began. These opportunities to both get the administration on the record and also explain what their actions are, this accountability, that these hearings are supposed to provide some accountability, some transparency to what's happening. They are such a missed opportunity. And I love Jean Shaheen. I think is one of the most brilliant women on the planet. Right? I love her. I think she was a great governor of New Hampshire. I think she's a great whatever. I know she's really smart. All those things. But my problem with people like Jean Shaheen and others is between them and their staffers, the way the questions are structured are reflective of a time that no longer exists. And maybe it never existed. And maybe we were just fooled a little more when, people were asking really good questions in Congress. And people do ask really good questions in Congress. But I think the structure and nature of the questions for these events needs to change. It feels very like, will you promise to do this? And those are important statements as well. But this is such a small window of opportunity to show whoever is watching that the emperor has no clothes. And so the questions have to be phrased and structured in such a way as to elicit the maximum amount of candor. They should be designed to elicit the maximum amount of candor in that moment, in those 5 minutes that your representative has. You staffers should be focused very much, if you're not already, which I'm sorry. I watch these a lot and you're just not. You're not hitting the mark. You're allowing it to be the the TV version of what a hearing is supposed to be. And that failed us. All of those niceties and all of that failed us. So I don't have a voice to get to these representatives, but there needs to be some kind of come to Jesus moment for the Democrat staffers who are supposed to be smarter than me, and by all rights should be. So if that's the case, I need them to do a better job of coming up with their questions. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. All right, I can't stand Kash Patel, so I'm not going to make you watch him anymore. Because I'd rather, let Gal ask the questions. Now that, remember, see, Gal, here's what I loved about those spaces, even though, Pam was a pain in the ass and, all that kind of stuff. Those spaces where we got to actually talk openly with people who disagreed with us about J6 or, Mike Flynn or whoever, whatever they wanted to talk about, those were really, really good conversations, I thought. And, there was obviously the actors involved in it, so they were never going to, their role wasn't to change or to listen or to do anything. Their role was to create havoc. And so if your role in life is to create havoc, you have a problem and you should probably get help. Just saying. But anyway, but those were good conversations. Those were like, I thought you were actually really good at explaining things with people that really didn't agree. Yeah, I think I think you did more than a decent job. I think you did an excellent job. And I think I would love to see that. I would love us to have that opportunity again where we, are able to just talk through the facts and maybe even find common ground. Because that's one thing you're really good at, Gal, is finding common ground with people that we don't agree with. In terms of, well, but what about money in politics? I'll never forget that when you brought that up, and it's like even the people on the right wing bullshit were like, yeah, we don't want money in politics either. You know what I mean? So I think that was such an amazing moment, and I'm anyway. Makes me sad that we don't have that. It makes me sad that people ruined what could have been a really good learning effort for everyone. And I guess I'm still a little pissed off about that. Okay, so this is the CISA weirdo. This is the oversight hearing for CISA. Let's see, what time is it though? Because I don't want to miss OpenAI. I guess what? No, you know what I'll do? Hold on. I have a different idea. Yeah, see, this is Trump expects to announce a U.S.-UK trade deal. I don't know. Will it be any good? I have no idea. Then there's a press department. State Department press briefing. Jiminy Crickets. Oh my God. Good morning, sunshine. How the Earth says hello. Just wondering if there's anything else. But I know what I have. Hold on over there, just a second. Don't leave me now. There was a couple things that were short videos I wanted to play. Hold on. Na 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 na. Good morning, Paulina. Hello, darling. Thank you for listening while working. We certainly appreciate it. Okay, I have some watch later shit. La 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 la. Oh, this one is interesting. What is this? What is this?
In here, and I hope that there's
Binman. I want to hear what this is all about. Hold on.
A government system that we
U.S.
have,
Armed Services
security
Committee.
in. Signal is very convenient. People have been using it for years, but there are some known vulnerabilities, and so
those were a long time
one
ago,
thing
Carrie.
I'd love to hear a comment
They
on
were a
that.
long
my
time
question
ago.
really comes down to OPSEC, which
When
is
we were just
really a
bebes.
basic issue, right? A private is taught OPSEC in basic
I wish we
training.
could do it
And
again.
The American people
and
frankly uniformed service members need to have
Yeah.
trust that they and family members are going to be safe. And I had a constituent, a mother of an F-18 pilot that was in the skies over Yemen at the time of that initial
I wouldn't
assault,
even know where to find them.
and she was irate. And so family members, service members are irate about OPSEC violations like this. And so what I want to hear, what I want to understand a little bit better, having worked at both DOD and the White House, and
Must have a weed.
there's a potential seam in here, right? If you have folks from DOD communicating to folks at NSC, and they have different criteria that they don't have a limitation on the SMARSH system, is that a potential vulnerability because they're communicating across this sort of seam? Yeah, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Congressman. So the way we have traditionally communicated is going into a SCIF and having a high side communication. And that has been the way we have worked it for many, 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 many years. And we're evolving. The technology is evolving. And I will just say that it is my office, along with many others, to ensure that we come up with a real capability in real time to allow that communication to go forward. It's paramount. And our adversaries, the OPSEC of our adversaries is true. But we have, I think, a great deal more concerns when we have more media presence and knowing, we talk about things that happen in real time that every single TV camera in the world sees it in real time. And I happen to be a personal, my first husband, dear friend of mine, was in operation, the operation in Somalia, who's a quick reactionary force. And I saw faster than probably the general saw one of my dear friends being dragged through the streets of Mogadishu. So I don't know that necessarily the phone is the greatest concern. It is high concern for communication, but we also have to understand that TVs and the capability of people using TikTok and Instagram and real-time video sharing is also an area of concern. We have to be realistic in what we're doing and how we're doing it and understanding the risks that are out there. Absolutely, 100%.
I would just say that you made a very forceful statement earlier in response to my colleague's question, which I really appreciated on this issue. But there's a big difference between, being in
I wonder who she is.
a public environment and where there are cameras and stuff like that, and communicating in a medium that you think is secure, information that is, in my mind, obviously highly sensitive. And so, because when you believe there's trust in the system, you're going to be a lot more open. You're going to be, and especially if you don't know that it's not secure. So there's a difference there between being out in the world and then communicating in a system that you think is got.
And my office's job is to make sure that we do better for both you, the Secretary of Defense, the Deputy, the President, everyone across the board. It's a forcing function. It is something that is a priority for our office to make sure that we have that in rapid time. I would be more than happy to give you a classified brief on all of the efforts that we're doing to ensure security of communications.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And the 72,000 veterans, 20,000 or so active duty folks, and family members in my district will appreciate it as well.
Where is she from?
Thank you, and also thank you to the mother and to the warfighter in the F-16. Thank you for
All right,
their dedication
you know what?
and
Stop
service to
doing
this
the
mission,
weird
because it is
stuff.
one team, one fight.
I thought we had our last question, but Mr. McGuire just walked in. You are recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to our witnesses for being here today. A lot going on today. Dr. Maddie, we all know that artificial intelligence consumes a ton of energy. One source estimates that ChatGPT consumes enough energy in a year to power over 20,000 homes, and that number is only growing, and that's not even including the amount of energy used to train the model. So my first question is, what is DoD's strategy for ensuring it has the energy resources it needs to continue scaling AI tooling across the department so that we can win the AI arms race?
Thank you, sir, for attending today.
Okay, so Arrington is the Department of Defense Chief Information Officer. Okay, her page is not found, but okay. Arrington kicks off effort to eliminate RMF for DoD software. Let me just read this quickly. Hold on. Hold Yanni. Let's find out. What's the angle little Judy has? Here we go. The Defense Department's latest effort to obtain secure software kicked off a 90-day sprint to develop a framework and implementation plan under the Software Fast Track Initiative. Hold on, I'll tell you. I'll show you what I'm reading. Sorry about that. Federal News Network. All right, I'm reading this. Oh, it's very small. Yeah, secret CEO. Okay, so she's the chief information officer, officially launched the initiative in a much anticipated memo. The Pentagon only made the memo public today at the same time. Oh my God. What is the print? What is the GUI interface on this motherfucker? Okay. Instead of going through the arduous process of finding a program manager who will look at your software, send it to a lab, and test it, I'm of a modern age. In the supplier performance risk system, it is backed by a platform called Enterprise Mission Assurance Support Service. Okay, can you just get me to the bottom line here? Provide me a I will have AI tools. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm going to ask you. Here's what she's. Yeah, Patel's postifying. Yeah, I know. We're bouncing around. Sorry. I'm going to ask you, if you're a software provider, to provide me your software bill of materials in both your sandbox and production, along with third-party, whatever, bill of materials. You're going to populate those artifacts into EMAS, the system. I will have, this is it. I will have AI tools on the back end to review the data instead of waiting for a human. And if all of it passes the right requirements, provisional authority to operate here. Okay, provisional authority to operate. I guess there's a verb missing there, but that's okay. Here's the better part. Because I'm blowing up the risk management framework, and I'm blowing up the ATOs. They're stupid. They're archaic. I want the RMF eliminated. It can be the framework we base it on, but I only have 5 things I really care about. Did you develop what you're doing in secure by design? How do I validate that? Are you working with zero trust? How do I validate that? What's more important in ATO or continuous monitoring? Continuous monitoring. So how do I do that? After the May event, we'll come back and then I'm going to ask industry, does it make sense? As we're redoing acquisition reform, we're looking at how to do the far why shouldn't we be. Oh my God. Can you form a sentence? Katie? Okay, well, I'll link that, but I don't understand half of it. I'm sure probably Gal does, and maybe others of you. But I'm going to tell you. All right, wait. This is not the one I want. Oh, this is the guy. I want this guy. I want you guys over here, and I want this guy over here, and I want this one over here. Good morning, Paul Langen. Sorry I didn't say hello. Yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting, Katie. You don't sound quite so calm in that article as you do in this hearing, but okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Now this is the one I need. I need this. I need little Mr. What's his name? What happened, everybody? Are you guys late? Why are you late? Why are you late? Anyway. Good morning, everyone. Patel is Kash Patel is testifying again, but he's still saying the same old shit. And everyone's acting like he's a normal human being. And no one has asked him about how much time away from the office he's spent. It's just a weird world, and I don't know if I can really deal with it. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna find a hillside and put a trailer on it. Anyway, that's my goal. Yeah, so I wanted to watch this OpenAI hearing because, whatever. But then also, where's the president's thing? I wonder if they're waiting for him to make this fucking stupid UK trade deal announcement. Because there's that, too.
In the road.
Oh.
Do we go down the path that
Oh,
embraces
no.
our history of entrepreneurial freedom
Jesus Christ.
and technological
I
innovation?
thought you were done.
Or do we adopt the command and control policies of Europe? I would suggest that Congress draw.
Oh, she slept
on the
with him
lessons
last
we can
night.
learn
Look at this.
From the dawn of the
She's
internet.
got that shit-eating grin on her
In
face.
the early 1990s,
She
Washington embraced the internet.
kissed
and
the toad last night.
Explicitly adopted a
just saying.
style of regulation that was intentionally and decisively light touch. Congress chose to deregulate under the Telecommunications Act of 1996.
Yeah, but
While
she'll
President
sleep with
Clinton
him.
pursued tariff agreements and treaties.
Why is she looking at him like
protected
that?
America's intellectual
Give me a
property
break.
and technological exports.
Give me a break.
Further, in 1998,
He's a
Congress
true believer.
enacted a 10-year internet tax moratorium.
She's like, look, I'm
so that
sitting
state
behind the
laws
senator
wouldn't
now.
balkanize and stymie
Oh, yeah.
the promise of e-commerce. The results of these decisions were extraordinary.
I made a lot of money.
By 2000, the United States has recorded 5 straight years of historic highs in productivity gains.
I mean, you know, and hey, listen, I was a woman in a male-dominated industry, and I got accused of that all the time.
The United States became a top tech exporter.
And I'm not accusing her of it. I'm just
massive
saying,
sums
girl,
of private investment
you're looking at
pouring into
him
the
like
US digital
he
economy.
did something real special
By
last
contrast,
night.
EU countries pursued a series of heavy-handed
So
regulations.
make your choices.
proved
Make better
enormously
choices.
In 1993,
Plus, he's not going to get you
the
anywhere.
United States and Europe
Come on
had
now, Paulina,
economies
right?
virtually
That's some
identical
kind of
in
grin on her face. What is she doing?
Today, the American economy
That's like the cat that ate the
is
canary.
more than
She's some
50%
staffer.
larger than Europe's.
But she's like the cat that ate the canary
Drivers
right
of
now.
that are tech and the shale revolution. Those two comprise virtually the entirety of that massive growth.
You know, you just can't
over
explain
Europe.
some people. That's all.
According to one EU Commission report, only 6% of global
I can't
AI
imagine
startup
either.
funding.
But it might have been,
flows to
I don't
EU
know.
firms.
People are
6%.
weird, butterflies. People
That is
got weird.
1/10 of the
People
amount
have
that is
weird
going to American
attractions.
companies. The report directly blames this yawning chasm.
Listen,
on
I'm really
EU's
not shitting on this
nasty
girl. You know,
regulatory
like
approach. And yet,
it's not.
the Biden administration,
But she is a
for
Republican,
inexplicable
so
reasons,
I
tried
guess
to
I am
align
kind of shitting
AI
on it. Never
policy
mind.
with the EU to adopt
Yeah, you
their
can't
failed
account for
policies.
taste.
President
But she's
Biden's
smiling at
sweeping
him,
AI
and that
executive
alone
order, the
gives me
longest
reason to
executive
say,
order in
what is
American
your
history,
problem, lady?
cast AI as dangerous and opaque, laying the groundwork
Okay.
for audits, for risk assessments, and regulatory certifications. Biden's approach inspired similar efforts
Oh
in
my
state
God, is
legislatures
Biden
across
president?
the
I didn't
country,
know that. Is he still
threatening to
president?
burden startups,
Is he still president?
developers, and AI users
Yeah, she's a fucking
with
Republican.
heavy
She can go fuck
compliance
herself.
costs.
She doesn't care about anybody
Some of my
but herself.
colleagues suggest that a friendlier
And that I don't
version
even have to know that she
of the Biden approach makes
boinked
sense.
that the
They want
Walmart
a
Wolverine to
testing
know
regime
that.
to guard against AI,
She might
quote,
be like that just for
discrimination,
TV purposes. You're
and have
right.
government
You're right. She
agencies
must realize she's
provide,
in the line
quote,
of sight.
guidance documents, seemingly something out of Orwell, that will usher in what they call best practices, as if AI engineers lack the intelligence to responsibly build AI
What?
without the bureaucrats.
Are you kidding me?
Many in the industry, foolishly, have supported such paternalism. Harmful regulations take
What?
many forms.
Oh my God.
Biden's misguided midnight AI diffusion rule on chips and model weights would have crippled American tech companies' ability to sell AI to the world. The Biden plan would have handed over key markets to China. We should want foreign countries, particularly our allies, to buy American. I vocally opposed this rule for months, and indeed the
This is
ranking
so
member and I
weird.
together urged the Biden administration not to adopt it.
How in the world are
very
you going to
pleased
force the
that
world
President
to
Trump
buy American?
Has now confirmed he
You
plans
can't
to
even
rescind
get Americans
all
to
of this
buy.
busybody bureaucracy
American.
Whether Biden's industrial policy on chip
Yeah,
exports
it's one of
or
them.
industry and regulator-approved guidance documents is a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Have you seen the AI
lead
baby
in
rants
AI,
play? Need
the
to
United
produce
States
one for
cannot
Senator
allow
Cruz.
regulation, even the supposedly benign kind,
Oh
to
God,
choke
no! I
innovation
can't.
or adoption.
Can't.
American dominance in AI depends on two factors: innovation
I
and
know,
adoption.
Texas. I'm sorry,
Innovation
Texas.
drives breakthroughs and global competitiveness. Adoption ensures that these tools empower American workers and businesses, enabling the United States to become the world's leading adopter and exporter of AI. Thankfully,
Yeah, they're really
President Trump
yeah.
has largely reversed Biden's misguided AI agenda. In fact, I think AI was a sleeper issue in this last elections. Americans wanted to see President Trump and Republicans, and indeed all senators, champion AI policies focused on innovation and adoption. The contrast has been astounding. This year, there have been over $1 trillion of new AI projects, including major investments in Texas like the CoreWeave data center in Plano and the $500 billion
Let's
Project
talk about
Stargate in
Texas.
Abilene by OpenAI and Oracle and others.
It's being like broken apart
Adopting a
by
light touch
corporations.
regulatory style for
It's going to
AI
be the first
will
network
require
state.
Congress to work alongside the president,
I
just as Congress did with President Clinton. We need to advance
That's what I think.
legislation that promotes long-term AI growth and innovation. That's why I will soon release a new bill that creates a regulatory sandbox for AI, modeled on the approach taken by Congress and President Clinton at the dawn of the internet, that will remove barriers to AI adoption, prevent needless state overregulation,
Ooh, he's
and
getting
allow
big
the AI
money from
supply chain
Elmo.
to rapidly grow here in the United States.
Oh my gosh,
That's how we'll
Ted, let's
accelerate
see. Wait,
economic
I got to
growth,
go to Open
secure
Secrets.
U.S.
Hold on.
dominance in AI, and
Hold
beat
on.
China. And with that, I turn to the Ranking Member Cantwell.
Thank you, Mr.
Money,
Chairman.
money,
Thank you for this
money.
hearing, and welcome to the witnesses before us, Mr. Altman, Dr. Sue, Mr. Integrator, and Mr. Smith. It's a great pleasure to have all of you here, but it's especially prideful moment for the Pacific Northwest to have Mr. Smith and Mr. Altman here, both representing an open AI approach. By that I mean an approach where we want to win against China and a closed system by making sure that what is developed here in the United States and around the globe is an architecture where the United States wins and is open. To do that, we need to focus in winning on computing power, on algorithms, and on robust data sources. All of that will be key. Personally, I believe a continued investment in NSF helps in all of those areas as a good public-private partnership with the industry that's represented here today. I'm so proud that we passed the CHIPS and Science Act, because the CHIPS and Science Act also set a foundation for investing in the United States of America and bringing more of the supply chain back to the United States of America to build on a future leadership that we already have, I believe, in the computing power. But we also need to understand that we have to move forward on the CHIPS Act, like the University of Washington $10 million grant on multi-design sets for chips, the very large-scale integrated designs I'm sure that Dr. Sue will tell us about today. But the fact that the United States has to continue to lead on the future designs and the implementation of that also requires us to be very smart about data centers, about sources of electricity, and how we're going to build that supply that could be up to 12% of electricity demand in the very near future. So how do we do that? I've noticed in each of your testimonies you all explain this, but I'm also very proud that Microsoft has already signed an agreement with one company, Fusion Energy in Everett, Washington, for a power source supply. Maybe Mr. Altman in his testimony will talk about this, but that they hope to get very near future energy source from that. So clearly the United States leading on electricity and development So, Mr. Smith, very much appreciate in your testimony the accentuation on the fact that the United States of America needs hundreds of thousands of new electricians, something we should all want to get behind. The fact that having electricity and the electricians and the data source centers here in the United States and in other places will be key. While I want to see us move forward, as the chairman said, we signed a letter saying we needed a broader support for export controls. I want to be clear. Export controls are not a trade strategy. They are not a back pocket issue that the President of the United States whips out in trade negotiations. We are going to move fast because we are going to set standards. I believe those standards should be encouraging very broad distribution of U.S. manufactured and made AI chips and technology, and that we're asking our partners overseas to comply with the rules that we establish, things like making sure that there is no circumvention of the supply that somehow gets into China's hands, making sure that we have access and making sure that we can verify on that, and also making sure that U.S. data companies and cloud-based companies are allowed to be in that market. We should not be going to markets overseas only to have them tell us that organizations with cloud services from the U.S. would not be allowed. This, I believe, would be a robust initiative on getting U.S. AI chips and U.S. AI open systems dominated around the globe. Why do we need to move fast? We need to move fast because if we don't, we are looking at another Huawei.
Oh, really, Hager?
Another instance where the United States is behind and also saying we should tear out this system that now we don't like for lots of reasons and backdoor policies. So I'm all for winning. That is why we passed the Chips and Science Act. I'm all for winning, and that is why we have passed 7 bills out of this committee last year that kind of got stuck in the lame duck. I think the chairman of the committee wasn't ready to move forward in negotiations with the House and Senate on those 7 bills.
It's so hard to
But those
tell
bills,
how
a
people
bill
get
between
money.
myself
It's
and
just,
Senator Young
it's
on
so...
the Institute for
Ted gets most of his money
Standards,
from
NIST standards,
American
which I
Israel
think we
Public
still need
Affairs
to
Committee,
do.
APAC.
My colleague and I, Moran, on education and scholarships.
Gets a lot of money from them.
Small business, and the bill by my
The Club
colleague
for
here,
Growth.
Senators Klobuchar and Thune, which was also related to the NIST standards. So we had an opportunity a year ago to move fast. We didn't do it. So let's do this now. Let's get together and figure this out. The faster the United States moves now, I like this great Paul Romer quote, which was about collaboration is the next phase of innovation. If we don't collaborate here, if we throw down on politics instead of getting the policy right, we won't move fast.
Oh my God.
Let's allow these people to do what they do best, and let's make sure the United States has the right policies in place so that our open AI standard wins the day. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce our witnesses for today. Each of our witnesses and their companies represent critical parts of the AI infrastructure, hardware, and software supply chain. Our first witness is Sam Altman, the co-founder and CEO of OpenAI. OpenAI is one of the world's most advanced AI companies, known best for its ChatGPT product. Our second witness is Lisa Su, the chair and CEO of Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. AMD develops high-performance processors, graphic chips, and AI accelerators that power artificial intelligence, and Dr. Su is also a Texan. Our third witness today is Michael Intrator, the CEO and co-founder of CoreWeave,
Everything's like
an
a...
AI hyperscaler.
Everything's like
is the world's largest purpose-built AI
soliloquy.
cloud platform. And our final witness is Brad Smith, the vice chair and president of Microsoft. I believe everyone is familiar with his company. Mr. Altman, you are recognized for your opening statement.
I don't like her. The
If you
girl
could turn
behind-
on the volume.
I'm sorry, I don't like her.
And I do enjoy telling techies how to operate the tech.
Pretty embarrassing that I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Chairman. Thank
Let's
you,
talk
Ranking Member
about
Campbell.
your
Thank you, all senators, fellow panelists. It's a real
your
honor to be here.
brother.
I was here about 2 years ago, and at that time, ChatGPT had recently launched. It was a curiosity in the world. People weren't sure what it was going to mean, what it was going to be used for. Today, we've made significant progress. ChatGPT is used by more than 500 million people a week. I just saw yesterday that according to SimilarWeb, it's now the 5th biggest website on the internet globally, growing very quickly. But most of all, it's being used in really important ways. It's significantly increasing productivity. We hear scientists say they're 2 or 3 times more productive than they could be before. We hear people that are getting medical advice or learning in ways they couldn't before. And it's really, it's no longer this thing that was going to come in the future, but it's here now, and people are really using it. We're very proud to be one of the leaders of this. We're very proud that America is leading in AI so significantly, and I think that's critical. What Senator Cruz said about the importance of innovation in America, and that we have what happened with the internet, we have happen again. I believe this will be at least as big as the internet, maybe bigger. That needs to happen. For that to happen, investment in infrastructure is critical. I believe the next decade will be about abundant intelligence and abundant energy, making sure that America leads in both of those, that we are able to usher in these dual revolutions that will change the world we live in, I think in incredibly positive ways, is critical. I got to go to Abilene, Texas yesterday, where we're building out what will be the largest AI training facility in the world.
Did you?
It's coming
Why
along
are you talking like a
beautifully.
fundy wife?
Super exciting to see. We need a lot more of that. There's a whole sort of AI factory, like a supply
Get out
chain
there.
of energy chips, standing up data centers, building the racks and more. We've got to do
Look
that,
at that.
really well in the US so that we can continue to innovate, continue to lead, and continue to sort of shape this revolution. Speaking of that,
This is
was
what
very
I know
inspired
about Sam
by
Altman.
What Chairman Cruz said, so I'd like to deviate from.
In fact, I'm going to go ahead and read this. This little BBC story about Mr. Sam Altman. ChatGPT creator Sam Altman's sister, Ann Altman, has filed a lawsuit alleging that he regularly sexually abused her between 1997 and 2006. The lawsuit, which was filed on January 6th, this is January 2025. I don't miss it either. You're right, Paulina. The lawsuit, which was filed on January 6 in a U.S. District Court in the Eastern District of Missouri, alleges that the abuse started when she was 3 and Mr. Altman was 12. Mr. Altman, who is the chief executive of OpenAI, the firm behind artificial intelligence software ChatGPT, denied the claims in a joint statement on X with his mother and 2 brothers. All of these claims are utterly untrue, the statement said. Caring for a family member who faces mental health challenges is incredibly difficult, it added. Warning, this story does contain details. I won't necessarily go through the details, but I'll give you the basic timeline. Mr. Altman says he gives his sister monthly financial support, pays her bills and rent, and offered to buy her a house, but that she continues to demand more money from us. But Ms. Altman claims her brother, quote, groomed and manipulated her and performed sex acts on her over several years, including rape, sexual assault, molestation, sodomy, and battery, according to a court filing seen by the BBC. Ms. Altman said she sustained great bodily injury, severe emotional distress, and depression. She added that she incurred numerous medical bills because of medical and mental health treatment for her injuries. The lawsuit added the last instance of the alleged abuse took place when Mr. Altman was an adult and she was still a minor. Ms. Altman has previously made similar allegations against her brother on social media platforms. Billionaire Mr. Altman, who married his partner Oliver Mulhern in 2024, is one of the technology world's most high-profile figures. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, in 2024, Mr. Altman returned as OpenAI's boss just days after he was fired by the board, surviving an attempt by a boardroom coup. Ousted. Come on, tell me why they ousted you. The decision was made by the 3 non-employee board members, Adam Angelo, Tasha McCauley, and Helen Toner, and a third co-founder and the firm's chief scientist, Ilya Tsutskevich. Suitskever. But on Monday, Mr. Suitskever apologized on X and signed the staff letter calling on the board to reverse course. Microsoft, which uses OpenAI technology in many of its products and is its biggest investor, then offered Mr. Altman a job leading new advanced AI research team at the tech giant. Then on Wednesday, OpenAI said it had agreed to Mr. Altman's return to the tech company in principle and that would partly reconstitute the board of directors that had dismissed him. Anyway, that's Sam Altman, in my mind. Anyway. Sorry. But let's hear from him.
Script here and tell a story. In my prepared written testimony, I covered the basics. So if it's okay, I'd love to tell you a story. I grew up in St. Louis, and I was a computer nerd. And it was the time of the internet boom, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. We kind of lived in this beautiful old brick house in this suburb of St. Louis, and I lived in the attic, and I had this computer, and I would stay up all night, and I would learn to program, and I got to kind of use the internet, and it was like a crazy time of tons
Nobody
of innovation.
cares,
All sorts
Sam.
of stuff was happening.
He wants to be a
It was
hero.
amazing,
He wants
and
to
it was all
be a
happening here. All the internet companies were in the U.S. I used a Mac that was built here.
Superhero.
I used chips that were started, near where I now live. And I learned about computers. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I can draw a straight line from that experience.
No, I
to
don't think
founding
so.
OpenAI.
I don't think he's
And
absent.
getting to work on companies like Helion. The spirit of American innovation and
Might have been someone else.
support of entrepreneurship. I don't think the internet could have happened anywhere else, and if that didn't happen, I don't think the AI revolution would have happened here. I am a child of the internet revolution. I have the great honor to be one of the many parents of the AI revolution, and I think it is no accident.
Oh
that
my
that's happening in
God.
America again and again.
Jeff
and
Dean.
again. But we need to make sure
You
that we
were
build
in
our
AI
systems
before AI was
and that we set our
AI.
policy in a way where
You were
that
the head of
continues to happen.
AI at Google.
I think this is magic. I don't
You know
live
anything
in
about this guy?
Europe either. I think America is just an incredible and special thing, and it will not only
A
be
thing?
the place where the AI revolution happens, but all the revolutions after. I was home visiting St. Louis recently, drove by our old house, and I kind of it was at night, and I looked up, and in that top floor window, the light was on, and I thought, hopefully there's some kid in there.
Oh
staying
my
up late at night
God.
playing with ChatGPT,
Oh my God.
figuring out how he or she is going to start whatever
Stop
company
it.
comes next, and whatever the next thing is after AI will happen here too.
Stop
That
it.
is to me the magic of this country. It's incredibly personally important, and I hope it keeps going. Thank you very much for
Stop.
having me.
Thank you. Dr. Sue.
Chairman Cruz, Ranking Member Cantwell, members of the committee, it is a real honor to be here on such an important topic. I'm Chair and CEO of AMD. We are a U.S. headquartered semiconductor company founded 56 years ago, and we build high-performance computing chips for the modern economy. Every day, billions of people rely on our products and services powered by our technology.
That's
but
right.
Our chips are also
It
extremely
was an Elmo
important
thing,
to
too.
support the critical missions,
Oh, shit.
including powering defense systems
You're right,
and
Jane.
secure communications, as well as enabling breakthrough scientific research. I have to say, our
You're
proudest
absolutely
moments, though,
right.
are when we see amazing public-private partnerships, and our work in supercomputing is an example of that. Through more than a decade of partnership with the Department of Energy, AMD now powers the two fastest supercomputers in the world. One that is housed at Oak Ridge National Labs that was put into place in 2021, and the other
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to keep stopping. But thank you, Jane. Now I remember. Now I remember why he was almost ousted. It was a thing between so OpenAI, I can't remember all the details, but I'll find the source reporting on it. But OpenAI had a nonprofit, like a Series B corporation arm of it or something, or a nonprofit arm. And so there was like a for-profit and a nonprofit mixed together. I think Altman wanted to get rid of the nonprofit arm of OpenAI and take it public. And Elmo stepped in and said, oh, no, you don't. You don't get rid of that nonprofit. And it wasn't entirely clear to me why he didn't want the nonprofit arm of OpenAI to be eliminated, because it didn't make any sense. Maybe it did, but it didn't make any sense at the time. But here's the interesting thing. OpenAI, and I just confirmed this online, OpenAI and xAI, which is Elmo's AI company, are direct competitors. So I don't think it's any more complicated than Musk was trying to squash Sam in a weird, Silicon Valley bro kind of way. And so I just wonder about that. I wonder about the relationship between Sam Altman and Elmo. It's just interesting to me. So anyway, with that context.
At Lawrence Livermore National Labs that was just recently put into commission late last year. These systems are really critical from a national infrastructure standpoint and solve many, many large research issues as well as national security and scientific leadership. Now, in terms of AI, there's so much that's been stated about AI. I really want to thank Chairman Cruz and Ranking Member Cantwell for having this hearing. I think it is a wonderful opportunity to talk about how we win.
Yeah, Musk put in a bid to buy
AI is truly
it.
the most transformative technology of our time. The United States leads today, but what I would like to say is it is a race. Leadership is absolutely not guaranteed. It's a global race that will shape the outcome of national security and economic prosperity for many decades to come. Now, maintaining
No,
our
it's that
lead actually
OpenAI
requires
was a
excellence at every
nonprofit.
layer of the stack. So I'm really honored to be here with my panelists as well. We have deep partnerships with Microsoft and OpenAI that demonstrate how you need silicon, you need software, you need systems, and really the application layer to be successful. Now, in terms of what to do, I thought about what would be the most important things to say today, and I put them in 5 categories.
Yeah, he tried to
I think
buy
the
them.
first, and probably the foremost, is we must continue to run faster. This is
Yeah,
a race,
he has a.
and the race
We
does
talked
not
about
stand
his
still.
partner.
Nobody in the world stands still. We lead today because of the bold decisions that we've made and because of the innovation economy that we have. But we need to continue to run faster, and that means ensuring that we have computing available. I think Sam's story about Abilene is an excellent example.
It's interesting.
Of how
It's
when
going to
we
be an
allow,
interesting situation.
The computing infrastructure to expand at the rate and pace
But
that
OpenAI is really
the private
making
sector
some
wants,
moves.
you actually make a tremendous progress. I would also like to mention the importance of open ecosystems. I think open ecosystems are really a cornerstone of U.S. leadership, and that allows, frankly, ideas to come from everywhere and every part of the innovation cycle. It's reducing barriers to entry and strengthening security, as well as creating, frankly, a competitive marketplace for ideas.
No,
Third,
it doesn't.
we are very happy to see the focus on a robust domestic supply
Abuse
chain.
is not
For us in the semiconductor world, we
a
used to not get so
sexual-
much attention.
it's a power
now
and
we get a lot of
domination.
attention thanks to the importance
no,
of
I
chips.
don't think it
and
pokes
the
a
fact
hole in
is
it.
we need more manufacturing in the U.S. The efforts so far have made good progress, but there's a lot more that can be done, and that should be done in public-private partnership. Fourth, we must invest in talent. Frankly, the United States should be the best place to
Well,
study
they
AI,
are
to work in
allegations, and we
AI,
don't
to
know,
really
but,
move forward all of the innovations that we need.
Hi, Peace
and I
Love.
think, again,
Yeah,
this can
no,
also
I know
be done
it's
in
a
significant
tough
public-private
situation,
partnership.
but
And then fifth,
she's
of
been
course,
very,
in the area of export controls,
very,
we totally understand as an industry
consistent
the importance of national security. And that
in her
is,
story.
that goes without saying as a U.S.
and I
company.
choose to.
But we also want to ensure, as Chairman Cruz
Well, actually, it's because
and
I know
Ranking Member
people who
Cantwell stated,
know her
it is
that
important to have widespread adoption
believe
of
her
U.S.
story.
technologies. We
So
lead
it's
today
easier for
because
me
we
to
have the best
also
technology.
got more
However, if we're not
credibility.
able to, fully
He got more credibility
have
than
our
he does.
technology
Let's put it
adopted
that
in
way.
the rest of the world, there will be other technologies that will come to play. They may not be as good as we are today, but frankly, usage really spurs innovation. And this is something that we certainly need
Well,
to
the
work
Chuds are
with
doing
in,
it all the time,
public-private
lady.
partnership. And
The
I
Chuds
would
are creating all
frankly
kinds of
end by
stupid-ass
saying,
songs.
like
So
Sam,
good job,
I had a
everybody.
computer,
Well
when I
done.
was growing up. I grew up in New York. I'm a little older than Sam, so my first computer was a Commodore 64, and then I graduated to the Apple II. But the fact is, this is the best place to do computing innovation in the world. We want it to stay that way with really a
What about
very
the human
rich and
rights?
broad ecosystem. So thank you again for the
What about the
opportunity
human
to be
rights?
here today.
What about the human rights?
And I had an Apple II as well with a shoebox of floppy disks, and somehow
And
I
everybody
ended up
hated
taking
you
a
in
wrong turn
college.
and
I
ending
know
up
one
in
of the people
politics
that went to
instead.
college with you.
Mr. Intrater.
Everybody hated you, even your college roommate.
I started out with a VIC-20.
And I
Chairman
started out with a
Cruz, Ranking
Quotron.
Member,
Fuck all y'all.
Cantwell, and distinguished members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify today. I am honored to appear alongside my industry colleagues and partners. My name is Michael Intrater. I am the co-founder and CEO of CoreWeave, founded 7 years ago. CoreWeave started, like many innovative ventures, humbly in a garage, experimenting initially with graphics processing units or GPUs for cryptocurrency
Shut the fuck
mining.
up. No, you didn't, you
Recognizing the
motherfucker.
transformational
Fuck
potential,
off.
we pivoted to support powerful AI applications, dramatically scaling the vision and operation. Today, CoreWeave stands at the forefront of America's AI infrastructure revolution, operating more than 30 data centers across 15 states. We manage more than 250,000 GPUs,
Yeah, it is.
currently using 360 megawatts of power. Over 2 short years, our revenue has surged by 12,000%, reaching $1.9 billion in 2024.
What?
As a result of this progress,
7
CoreWeave
years
became
old?
a publicly traded company on March 28th of 2025. CoreWeave's rapid growth is a testimony not only to the technology, but also to the surging global demand for advanced AI infrastructure. Our infrastructure enables American businesses to rapidly translate AI aspirations into impactful economic realities. By empowering companies to accelerate innovation, we're fueling America's competitive edge while improving productivity and prosperity. Modern AI requires specialized infrastructure, purpose-built computing capabilities that surpass traditional cloud computing in scale and performance. Today's general-purpose cloud that was built to support and scale the complexity of AI workloads. We cannot run a 21st century economy on the 20th century's infrastructure. AI workloads involve trillions of simultaneous calculations, demanding unprecedented computing power, advanced cooling systems, cutting-edge chip technology, ultra-high-speed networks, and accelerated storage. Since 2018, the computing power
And I guess,
necessary
Jane,
for advanced AI
we
models
didn't realize
has
how weird they
multiplied
were.
approximately 100,000-fold.
I thought they
At
were
CoreWeave,
on the
our
right side of
facilities symbolize
history.
America's great tradition of innovation.
And I
Our
was
data
stupid.
centers, built, maintained, and staffed by skilled American workers,
I believed
embody
it.
how
I
modern
believed it when they
technology
said, oh, we
not
want to
only
do right by the
stimulates
world.
economic growth and enhances national security, but also
Yeah,
improves
these
human
guys are
lives.
different corporate leaders.
We are at a critical juncture in the global
Now I feel like an
AI
idiot.
competition. The nation that leads in infrastructure will
I
set
never
the
did
global
like rich
economic
people.
agenda
Like, I'm
and
never
shape
really
human
into
outcomes for
that.
decades.
There was plenty of rich people that
Our
I
largest
hated in
competitor,
my
China,
career because they just
recognizes the
acted
stakes
like
and is
their wealth
spending
was
significant
their
resources
value.
to strengthen their position.
And I found that the
I wanna
billionaires and
focus on 4
millionaires who
elements of policy
realized that
will
their
help
wealth
determine
was
whether
not
the
their,
US
value,
secures its leadership role in the AI race.
that,
First, strategic
I mean, there
investment
are those
stability.
people. I know
AI
them.
infrastructure is deeply capital intensive and requires a
But
significant level of
there's far
coordination
more of
across
the other
industry
kind.
stakeholders. Stable, predictable policy frameworks, secure supply chains,
I don't know. I
and
guess so. I
regulatory
mean, I guess
environments that
people were
foster
just like,
innovation
I guess the
are
money
crucial.
just went crazy.
Policymakers must provide clear and consistent policy and regulations
But
across
little did
all
they know their
jurisdictions
souls were
that
being
enables
bought out
long-term investment and
if they
rapid
had one to
scaling of
begin
AI
with.
technology. Second,
That's what I
energy
think.
infrastructure development. To
I could be
support
wrong,
the
but
rapid
that's what I
deployment of
think.
AI infrastructure, America must ensure abundant and affordable supplies of energy. Careful
Yeah,
reforms in
exactly.
permitting and
Guy who
regulatory
built a
process
rocket
are
because he
necessary
could.
to accelerate infrastructure projects, facilitate more rapid construction, interconnections, and energy for data centers.
God, you are so boring, Mr.
Third is
Intrader.
global
How'd you
market
ever get a
access.
job?
Maintaining America's leadership also means ensuring our technology has fair access to global markets. Export controls and trade agreements can be calibrated
Yeah,
to both address national
exactly,
security
butterflies.
risks
Everyone
and
is
support
below
global
them.
diffusion of American AI
They're smarter
technology.
than everyone.
And finally, public-private partnerships and workforce development.
And they
America's
know how to
unique
say all the
advantage
pretty
in the AI
shit. And
race
that's just what's
is
so...
enhanced by our powerful tradition of
People are really,
public-private
can be really
partnership. CoreWeave
disappointing,
is proud to
I guess.
co-found the New Jersey AI Hub with Microsoft.
I suppose
Princeton
I've
University,
disappointed people
and
in
the
my
New York-
lifetime,
And the
too.
New Jersey Economic Development Initiative.
In fact, I'm sure I have.
Initiatives like this develop critical work skills,
But
foster
people are
innovation,
definitely
and ensure
disappointed.
economic and economies and
Yeah.
communities are prepared for the AI-driven future. America stands ready to lead the AI revolution, which will bring enormous benefits.
They just don't think anything's
It is
gonna
a rare
touch
moment in
them.
time that we must meet. If government, industry, and all affected parties work together, the United States can win this race and seize the vast opportunity ahead of us.
What happens
Thank you
when
again
we
for the
win?
opportunity to testify.
What
I look
happens
forward to
when we
answering
win?
questions.
Thank you.
What
Mr.
happens
Smith.
when we win?
Chairman Cruz, Ranking Member Cantwell.
What does that
members
look
of the
like?
Committee, thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
Don't touch me.
Let me just
That's what I'd
build
say.
on what my three colleagues have said and offer a few thoughts. The first is I just
Who
wanted
are
to
you?
refer to the chart on this easel that shows the AI tech stack that was also in my written testimony. It makes a simple but I think important point. We're all in this together. If the United States is going to succeed in leading the world in AI, it requires
Everybody left.
infrastructure, it requires success
There's
at the
only
platform
Democrats.
level, it requires people who create applications. Interestingly, we at Microsoft get to work with all three of these leaders and their companies.
I mean,
our success, each of our success, depends on each other's success. And what's true of the four of us is
these guys are
true
going to lose
when
me,
you
and
look
that's
across
saying
the
something.
country and around the world at open source developers, people who are building power plants,
God, is anything else
electricians and
happening?
pipe fitters who are going to work every single day. So what do we need from the Congress and the country in order to succeed? I think it's three things. I described them in my written testimony. First, as Chairman Cruz said, we need innovation. Innovation will go faster with, as Sam said, more infrastructure, faster permitting, more electricians. We need more innovation fueled, as Ranking Member Cantwell said, by support from our universities and the federal agencies that support basic research across the country, one of this country's crown jewels. We also need, as Chairman Cruz said, faster adoption, what people refer to as AI diffusion. The ability to put AI to work across every part of the American economy to boost productivity, to boost economic growth, to enable people to innovate in their work. And the number one ingredient for that,
They're the ones that have the
history
biggest
shows
lesson to
time and
learn.
time
Yeah, I
again,
agree.
is skilling,
Remember
investing in
Eliezer
education.
Yudkowsky?
And finally, we need to
Logan
export.
Bartlett
If
and
America
after
is
he
going to
gave an
lead the
Oh,
world,
I
we
do
need to
remember.
connect
I was
with the
just
world.
thinking about that. I was
need to
just
remember,
thinking
I
about
believe
that, Jade.
always, that as a
Literally,
country,
as they were starting
only
this.
4.5% of the world's
Yes.
people live in the United States of America.
Yes, wait.
Our global leadership relies on our ability to serve the world with the right approach to
Didn't he
export
say, like,
controls,
AI is going to eat
and
you all or
always,
something like that?
especially in technology.
Is that the same one?
In our ability to
gonna
sustain
take over.
the trust of the rest of the world.
Maybe not.
Ultimately, I think people who take the time, if they take the time to watch or read about this hearing, may wonder,
Is that
what
the
is
guy?
this all about? What are we at this
Where he
table
said,
trying
"Oops."
to do? What do these two letters AI really mean to them? Are we who are working in this industry trying to build machines that are better than people? Or are we trying to build machines that will help people become better? Emphatically, it is and needs to be the latter. Are we trying to build machines that will outperform people in all the jobs that they do today? Or are we trying to build machines that will help people pursue better jobs and even more
I
interesting
can't play the
careers
TED
in
Talk,
the
but I'm going to
future?
link his TED Talk here about that from
Indisputably,
2023.
It needs to be the second, not the first. And I believe that is what we are and can do together. As somebody who's now spent almost 32 years in this industry, there are two things that always strike me. The first probably won't surprise you. Never underestimate what technology can do, how quickly it can move, what it can accomplish.
There it is.
But
That's
the
his TED
second
Talk. I
is
haven't
one that
seen
I
it
think
yet,
is
but
too
that's his
seldom
TED Talk.
discussed, even though every day it stares us in the face. Never estimate what people can do. Never underestimate human ambition. Never underestimate what a person can do. If given a better
Go
technology
fuck yourself,
tool
Smith.
and
Just
the
go
ability
fuck
to
yourself.
learn how to put it to use. That's the story of this industry. It's the story of the country.
If AI
It
takes
is,
the
as you heard,
memorization of things
the story
away,
of
will
Sam
we
Altman.
get critical thinking
Not
back
everybody
in
becomes
school?
a Sam Altman or a Satya Nadella or a Bill
know.
Gates.
Good
Everybody
question.
deserves the opportunity to try. Tonight across America, whether it's the
Tonight?
attic of a house
Bitch.
or the basement or just an everyday
What are you talking
bedroom,
about?
there are kids with computers, with phones, with access to the internet, and now the ability to put AI to work. Let's invest in their education. Let's invest in the skills that the American public needs. Let's then invest in creating the future that the American public deserves. Thank you.
Well, thank you, witnesses, for your testimony. And I'll start off with the first round of questions and move down dais to our ranking member here. Thank you for your testimony. Certainly makes me sleep
you
better at night,
nervous?
worried about Terminator and Skynet coming after us, knowing
Really?
that
It does?
you guys
How?
are behind the
why,
wheel.
Why in the world would it
But
change that?
in 5 words or less, start with you, Mr. Smith. What are the 5 words you need to see from our government to make sure we win this AI race?
What?
More electricians. That's 2 words. Broader AI education.
And no using ChatGPT as a phone a friend.
Thank you. I would say that we need to focus on.
Why is that so dumb? Why are people so
streamlining
dumb?
The ability to build large things.
Why dumb? Dumb, dumb, dumb.
Policies to help us run faster in the innovation race.
Allow supply chain sensible policy.
That was good.
Stop with the 5-word bullshit.
So
oh my
what
God,
I hear there
hate
is something pretty similar to the races we've won before. Nuclear energy, for example, you know, the
Oh my
Germans and
God.
Austrians really
Oh, he's an
led
AI safety
the innovation
expert.
around
Right,
that, but
right.
we won the race because we put a massive government effort collaborating with our
He's from
universities and others to
Microsoft
win
Butterfly.
that race.
Sorry, that Smith guy.
Space,
Yeah,
you
he's
know, the
from
Soviets put the first satellite up, put the
Microsoft.
first man in space, but we won the
Verbs and
space
noun.
race because we adopted a framework to ensure that we won. Aviation, automobiles, etc.
Yeah, the
So
Wright
what
brothers.
I hear from
know,
you is
that
you
kind of stuff.
do need support from our government, but you also need the government to stay out of your way so you can innovate
Right, no regulation.
and win this race.
Right.
How do we
How
incentivize
many
companies to do
regulations can
business
we get
here
rid
in
of to help
America to make sure
What do
we
you want?
win this race in America and America leads?
What do you want?
Not just China, but other non-state actors too. I mean, I think that the scariest
Yes,
thing about
Jane,
AI
I
from
know.
a
I'm
capability
looking
standpoint
forward. I
is it
put
doesn't
that in
have
my
to be a
list to
state
watch.
actor to win this race. It's not like
His TED
nuclear energy.
Talk.
It's not like space technology. I mean, a non-state actor
Wanna
can
hear
just
what he
as
has to
easily
say.
win this race and wield more power than anyone else. So how do we encourage
what?
innovators, investment to happen here in
Are
America
you saying
to
the
ensure
state's
we
going
win
to
this
own
race?
AI? Wait, what?
Mr. Altman, you want to start?
No.
We were honored to announce back in January Project Stargate, a $500 billion investment
Stargate.
in United States infrastructure.
Hey, Skynet.
That is now well underway.
Hate Stargate.
I mentioned getting to see it yesterday in Abilene. The first site was incredible. We need a lot more of that. We need
Agree badge.
certainty on the ability to build out this entire supply chain, build the data centers,
No,
permit the
Matt.
electricity. We'd love to bring chip production here, network production here, server rack production here.
Oh, peace, love. I
And
mean, I
think
guess
the
you
world
just have
does
to
want
see if there's
invest.
any
We
kind of
have,
clips out there.
A lot of global investment flowing into the U.S. to do this. We also want to
Oh,
make sure that other
maybe the
countries are
TED
able
channel
to
has them. I'm
build
sorry,
with
I
our
misunderstood
technology,
what you were
use our
saying.
models, and sort of like be in our orbit and you know use U.S. diffusion of technology here. So that's really important. We need to make sure that the highest
Right,
skilled
totally. Yeah, I
researchers
want
that
to take a
come
look
work
at that too,
US
Jane.
companies can come here and do that. We need to make sure that companies like OpenAI and others have legal clarity on how we're going to operate. Of course, there will be rules. Of course, there need to be some guardrails. This is a very
why
impactful
not?
technology, but we need to be able to be competitive globally. We need to be able to train. We need to be able to understand how we're going to offer services and sort of where the rules of the road are going to be. So clarity there, and I think an approach like the internet, which did lead to flourishing of this country in a very big way.
Really? You think everything's hunky-dory with the internet and all that? We don't fight over Section 230 and all
I
this
would add,
shit?
I think computing is the foundation to all of this.
Really?
We want to have more compute built in the U.S. by U.S. companies and ensure that we have a great environment for that. We want to ensure that our technology
But not a great environment.
around the world is also used broadly and in the right ways. So I think the conversation about export controls and rules should just be simple, easy to follow, easy to enforce, and enable U.S. AI platforms to be the foundation. And then certainly the comments around bringing manufacturing back home and ensuring that we have the right talent base are all extremely important elements of that.
Are companies
Oh my
weighing
God, Max.
doing business in AI in America versus China? Are the companies making that side-by-side comparison?
Wait, what?
I think if you look across the world, there are countries and companies that will ask those questions. If it's hard to obtain U.S. technology, although U.S. technology is the best, if it's hard to obtain, then there's a hunger for AI, and they will choose what is available. And if China is available, that will certainly be a outcome that we would not like to see.
Well, I think I hear the words
I
infrastructure,
think that's
electricians, universities, regulatory framework, and I think those are things we can help with. I hear words like innovation and talent, and I hear Dr. Su, run faster. Those aren't things a government can't manufacture talent. We can't make you run faster, but we can give you the tools to do that.
Okay.
And I think it's time that we create a framework so
Okay,
that you have the
next.
tools you need to win this race, because
Next.
you're going to be the ones that win it, not us.
Next.
Thank you for your testimony, and recommend
Next.
Catwell.
Next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to continue
it
that
Rolling
same
Stone?
theme
All right, thanks,
generally
Max.
about competitiveness. Do we need NIST to set standards? If you could just yes or no, and just go down the line.
I don't think we need it. It can be helpful.
Yes.
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 Okay, so in the context of what we're talking about here, we're really just talking, I don't know, Mr. Smith or Mr. Integrator or Dr. Su, the issue here is if we want to move fast, we want to create, just like with electricity, the standards by which we want to move fast. Here, I would just call it code for code is what we want, right? We want NIST to do something in the standard setting that will allow us to move much faster. Is that right, either Mr. Smith or Mr. Integrator?
What I would say is this. First of all, NIST is where.
Okay, and just to start, sorry to stop them, but the AI, the Rolling Stone story, so Rolling Stone always has a paywall. If you take that link and you plug it into archive.is, you go to that website, and in the search box in the top, plug in that URL, and you should, most of the time, not always, most of the time, you should get behind the paywall version of the archived article. So, shh, sorry, not sorry during these times. I try to support journalists where I can. But anyway. Oh, is he talking trade? Okay, hold on, because I wanted, oh, shit balls.
In addition, the UK will reduce or eliminate numerous non-tariff barriers that unfairly discriminated against American products, but this is now turning out, I think, really to be a great deal for both countries, because it'll be really great for the UK also. So they're opening up the country. Their country is a little closed, and we appreciate that. They'll also be fast-tracking American goods through their customs process, so our exports go
Oh, yeah, sure we will.
a very, very quick form of approval, and there won't be any red tape. Things are going to move very quickly both ways. The final details are being written up in the coming weeks. We'll have it all very conclusive, but the actual deal is a very conclusive one. We think just about everything's been approved. So good for both countries, and we'll also receive new market access for American chemicals, machinery, and many other industrial products that weren't allowed, and they'll end up getting products that they'll be able to price, and if they like them better,
agree,
and we make
Badge.
great products, they'll be buying those products, but they were not available in the UK. Furthermore, in a historic step, the deal includes plans that will bring the United Kingdom into the economic security alignment with the United States. That's the first of its kind. So we have a big economic security blanket, and that's very important, and we feel very, very comfortable with that, because it's been a
There
great
you
ally,
go,
truly one
Lee.
of our great allies. I mean, a lot of people say our greatest ally. I don't want to insult people by saying that, but I can say it's certainly one of our greatest, and they're right at the top, and they're the first one we're talking about. And by the way, we have many meetings planned today and tomorrow, and every country wants to be making deals. And we have a meeting, as you know, Scott will be going over to Switzerland on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be
God, he's
very-
going to
very
Switzerland, Mrs.
interesting.
Beasley.
Let's find out, but I think they want to make a deal very badly, too.
Ooh,
Both
Switzerland?
countries have agreed that the economic security is national security and will be working together as allies to ensure that we have a strong industrial base, appropriate export controls, and protections for key technologies and industries like steel. Steel is a big factor. Both countries will become stronger with steel and things necessary for military. You know, we used to build ships and other things literally at a level that nobody's ever seen, and we haven't, we've eased up, and I would say that the UK certainly eased up, but now we're going to be uneasing both, and we work together. Once again, I want to thank Prime Minister Starmer. He's been terrific for his
I might have to
partnership in
rewind this
matter.
because I just want to hear what the deals
Special
are.
relationship and external bond. It's really an external and an internal bond between our two
Really?
countries. Will soon be stronger than ever before, and we really do. We have a great relationship. I want to
Why
just
wouldn't
say
they
that
come
the
out and announce it
representatives of
together? You know what I'm
UK have
saying?
been so professional, and it's been an honor doing business with all of them, and in particular the Prime Minister. And I'd like to introduce him now to say a few words.
Oh.
Mr. Prime Minister,
Oh, he is
please
there.
take it away.
Thank you, Mr. President, Donald. And this is a really fantastic, historic day in which we can announce this deal between our two great countries. And I think it's a real tribute to the history that we have of working so closely together. Can I pay tribute, Donald, to your negotiating team as well, particularly Howard and Jameson, who've done
Here,
an
Starmer, you're a
incredible job,
fucking
a very
idiot.
professional job, and my team as well.
That's
Two
unnecessary.
negotiating teams
That's
have worked
unnecessary.
at pace now for a number of weeks to bring in this deal today. Really important deal. This is going to boost trade between
Wow, what a
and
fucking-
across our countries. It's going to not only protect jobs but create jobs, opening market access. And as you say, Donald, the timing couldn't be more apt, because not only was it 80 years ago today that victory came for Europe after
What's going on
the end
with
of the
Keir
Second World
Starmer?
War.
What's
But
the
of course,
dealio
on
with
that
him?
day, the UK
What's the
and the
tea?
US stood together as the closest of allies. And Donald, I think even down to the hour, because
What's
you
the
may or may
tea?
not know that it was about this time of day, exactly 80 years ago,
Oh my
that
God.
Winston
How dare
Churchill
you?
announced victory in Europe, and that led to great celebrations across Europe, across America, but particularly in the United Kingdom. Literally people going out into the street, putting bunting up, going up to the palace. And so to be able to announce this great deal on the same day, 80 years forward, almost at the same hour.
I mean, I don't even understand why he's doing it.
With UK and the US.
I understand, you know, like, oh, yeah, we did a
Is
deal.
incredibly important and makes this truly historic.
Reform has such little
that close
success, though,
relationship
right?
has
Or is
endured
it
over those
getting
80
bigger?
years. As you know, Donald, when it comes to defence and
Glad you
security
called
and
it.
intelligence sharing, of course, there are no two
Oh.
countries that are closer than our two countries. And now we take this
I mean-
into new and important territory
Yeah, today
by
is
adding
VE
trade
Day.
and the economy to the closeness of our relationship. It is built, as you say, on those notions of fairness and reciprocal arrangements. We've always had a fair and balanced arrangement between our countries. This bill,
Well, apparently
on
not.
that, hugely important for sectors like car manufacturing and for
Why is he
steel
doing
and
that? I
aluminium
just
and
don't
so many
I
others.
understand making a deal. I don't understand the
we
sycophant
can
kind of
finish ironing out
shit.
some of the details, but there's a fantastic platform here, including, of course, on the tech side.
Yeah, right,
where I
Teresa?
think
I'll
I'm
show
right
no
in saying we're the
details.
only
Like
two
Lee was
Western
saying, there's so
countries
much
with
more to this,
trillion-dollar sectors when it
requiring
comes to
parliamentary
tech.
approval.
And in the end, it
Agribusiness
comes
will
down
be a
to,
big hurdle. Yep.
As you say, Donald, economic security is national security. On national security,
Oh, labor
we've
cut
been
winter heating
absolutely
payment
the
support for
closest of
elderly.
allies
Oh my
for so many
goodness.
years, keeping
Well,
the
that's right.
peace
He made a bunch
through
of
that
cuts.
close alliance, that
Right.
friendship. And now we add to that this deal on trade and the economy. And I want to thank you for your leadership
Oh my
on
God.
that, Donald, and for the way in which your team have negotiated this. And I'm so pleased that
I
we've
guess,
got
but
this deal.
I mean, you know,
we've finalized it.
there's only so much you need to do
we've built an
to
incredible
seal the
platform,
deal. You know what I'm
for the
saying? Like, you don't
future.
need to
So
go
thank you so
overboard.
much. Donald, I'm now going to go and do a press conference. I think you have your press in with you. But on the details, I think if you've got Howard, we can deal with that through one of my team.
Not liquor.
Well, Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much. It's an honor. We're going to have a continued, maybe a better relationship than ever before. You know, I don't know if the media knows, but the U.S. and U.K. have been working for years to try and make a deal. And it never quite got there.
Yeah.
It did with this Prime Minister. So
Wow.
I want to just congratulate you.
Well, with this president, this prime minister, we've managed to achieve what many people have tried to achieve for many years.
That's right.
And I'm really pleased, and it feels
Are you?
completely historic
Really
and on a special
pleased.
80-year anniversary as well. So, Donald, thank you so much. It's really good to have got this deal over the line. Tribute to both teams, tribute to our countries, and tribute to your leadership.
Thank you. Well, it really is a great thing. And you go do your press conference, and I'll see you soon. Maybe speak to you later. But thank you
Is
very
she
much.
wearing
An-
like a
an incredible
dress?
thing. I can't tell you that for so many years, even as I
Is that a
sat,
dress?
everybody talked and talked and talked about a deal with. It just seemed like a natural deal.
Is that a
but,
dress?
It was not done, but now it was done with us. So I feel very proud to have been a part of it. Keir,
Or is
thank
that
you very
E?
much.
What is that? E B E flat
Thanks,
E
Donald,
sharp.
and we'll speak again soon.
Very good.
Yeah.
So long.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, stop! Please stop! Oh God, I'm so disgusted. Sorry, I can't listen to that.
Why don't I do this? Why don't I have our Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, give a little description of the deal pretty quick, and then the good side, the very nice side, we'll be speaking about it also, maybe.
Oh, sharps.
From,
I don't even
so you
know.
get a pretty equal. I think
Mute
it's a
faster.
very,
Wait, what?
it's just been
I
a
know,
deal that
right?
was, we thought, very complicated. It became very simple. It's opening up the country that we really didn't have the kind of access to.
I
that
really
would've
want to
thought. I
know
was
how.
surprised. I
What?
think it's why the deal never got done before. It was, you know, they've been working on this deal for 25 years. And we got it done, and we got it done. Really, it's going to be great for both
Really?
countries. So, Howard, if you could go, and then somebody else, you may have, you'll pick whoever you want who'd like to do it. I have a feeling you're going to do it.
Oh.
So you guys go ahead, and
Ooh.
then we'll take questions right after that.
Oh,
But I
what
think
was
you have a
that?
good understanding of
What was
how big
that?
it is. It's a very large deal.
What the
very
fuck
big
wa-
deal, and Howard, go ahead.
So the UK is the 6th largest economy in the world and the 4th largest that we export to.
Helen Mirren wants
So
to be here
it's
for this.
a huge market, a top 10 market. If you remember Liberation Day, they were at 10% because we have balanced trade with the UK, right? They say they have a surplus, but of course that counts gold bullion, which is, so let's just call it balanced trade. So how do you open up a market in balanced trade? People think it's impossible. They've always thought it was impossible until President Trump came on the scene and changed the way things work. So here's what we've got. We've opened up new market access, ethanol, beef, machinery, all the agricultural products. They've agreed to open their markets, and that will add $5 billion of opportunity to American exporters. So the question is, why would they do that now? Because they've never done it before. And we still have our 10% tariff on, which will produce $6 billion of revenue for the United States.
Wait, what?
So the idea was, how do they keep their jobs, protect their economy, and do the best for their people while opening the market for us? And the way is they studied it, their team was exceptional, and they tried to figure out the markets that they're importing from other people and try to send them over to America. So why were they always favoring others and not us? And what they've done is they've found the ways to do that so that we have new access, right? But the UK workers are protected, and that was
I don't
the
get
balance.
it.
So we did a deal with them in automobiles, and
I don't get it.
if you're not building here,
He looks
we
like,
charge
I
you
don't know what
25%
is being
tariff.
said.
But the president,
Yeah,
and by
clip
the way, I
that
want to make this
face.
clear.
And then we're
while
gonna
Jameson
we're
and
gonna
I
zoom
worked
in
hard,
on it.
This was the president's deal, and people think, oh, that's not the way it works. If you got to sit next to him, I have the best deal maker to my left, and if you don't,
I don't get what the deal
take
is.
advantage of him, calling the prime minister, getting
explain
that
it to
deal
me
done,
like I'm
you
5.
don't understand who's the president of the United States. So he's the closer. He gets deals done that we could never get done because he understands business. He understands deals.
What?
That's why we're here today. So
Okay.
he agreed they could send 100,000 cars
Dad.
into America and only pay a 10% tariff. And that protects their car industry. And remember, we do
Wait, what?
16 million cars a year. So this is only like 0.6%. But for the UK auto people, this is tens of thousands of jobs that the president agreed that he would protect for them. So he made that deal.
Wait, what?
Right? Then steel and aluminum, right? Their steel business has been destroyed like everybody else has been destroyed by people dumping steel into their markets. And British Steel had announced it was closing down. So the British government, as part of this deal, nationalized British Steel, and they're going to match the kinds of models we do. They'll put tariffs on, they'll put quotas on.
What?
They want to do it with America so they can be part of
so they
the
just agreed
resurgence of
to-
steel and aluminum in America, and that saves them, again, thousands and thousands of jobs. So if you
Are
go
they
step
buying
by
our
step,
steel?
Aero and commercial planes, they sell Rolls-Royce engines to Boeing. We've agreed to let Rolls-Royce engines and those kind of plane parts to come over tariff-free. And what you're going to hear today is there's going to be an announcement in the UK that they are buying $10 billion worth of Boeing planes later today. But I'm going to let the name of the airline announce it because that's theirs.
Well,
to
you
do.
just
But part
announced
of
it,
his
stupid ass.
was always to do it together.
All right,
And to do
Boeing
it strong. And you can see the numbers on this
purchase
board. Everything about this board
of
works exceptionally well for the
Rolls-Royce
United States of America. It
engine.
lays out the plan that you can work
I
with us.
wanna know how
in
much they
autos.
spent in
You
the
can
past.
work with us with aero and commercial. You can work with us in pharmaceuticals if you have a supply chain that is secure and protected in national security. So we feel really good about the deal. You've heard the Prime Minister. He feels really good about the deal, right? And we started at 10% and we ended at 10%. And the market for America is better. And this is a perfect example of why Donald Trump produced Liberation Day. People don't understand he gets things done in a matter of time. This would have taken Jameson and I 3 years, maybe. And instead, we got it done in 45 days, certainly, because we
They
worked for
already
Donald Trump.
used Rolls-Royce
Jameson,
engines.
my partner in all this, maybe Jameson, you like to
They
talk a little,
already
then we'll turn
used
over
it.
to the UK.
I mean, they already bought plane. What?
Has great remarks. I just have to echo the President and the Prime Minister.
Wait,
We
what?
talk about VE Day. This is something we've been waiting for decades, and there's no more appropriate day to do this. And when we step back and we look back a few weeks from now, or months from now, or years from now, we'll
Don't you
look back
dare
at this
invoke
day
World War II, you
better
motherfucker.
appreciate the significance, I think. And I'll just say as well, in terms of negotiating, I mean, the UK negotiators, you know, we've got one right here, did an incredible job, right? This is why you win wars, right? When you act like this, and the ambassador, he knows more about trade than a lot of us here, based on his background. And I would say on this deal, Mr. President, what we've shown is that it is time to change the way we do trade. People said we couldn't do a global tariff. We did a global tariff. They said no one would want to deal with us. People want to deal. They said no one give offers. You saw that stack of offers I showed you yesterday of all those countries. Said we wouldn't get deals, and here we are with a deal with the 6th largest economy. We've agreed to have fair and reciprocal trade, and we've done it in record time.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Ambassador, please. Well, Mr. President, thank you very much indeed in hosting us this morning. And thank you very much indeed also for that very typical 11th hour intervention by you with your phone call to the President, demanding even more out of this deal than any of us expected. So thank you for that. Prime Minister was
This is
delighted,
fucking stupid. All right,
obviously,
I'm not
to
watching
take
it.
that.
No, fuck all these guys. Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you. Yeah, it's all male BS. You're right, Badge. Oh my God. Okay, first of all, Rolls-Royce and Boeing have been having big contracts for over a decade, if not longer. Okay, so Rolls-Royce and Boeing have been in partnership for a really long time. That is not new. I can't even see where the 10 billion is historic, okay? They've had double digit 10, 11 billion dollar deals in the past. This is not historic. This is not your beautiful house. How depressing. Oh my god, all these things are so depressing. Here, come here. Come here. We're gonna put you guys. I just want to see some birds for a minute. Oh, whoops! I got rid of you, didn't I? There. I just want to see a rooftop for a minute. The most beautiful big bill, the most beautiful tariff agreement. God damn. It's so stupid. Ugh. And I get being like I totally understand diplomacy, trying to be like, keep it cute. Oh, that's right. There was already black smoke. Yeah, I get the keep it cute, keep it sassy kind of, relationships that people have to publicly portray. I don't really, but whatever. That's where they feel they are. But Keir Starmer goes overboard. So I don't know what's going on with Keir Starmer, if he's like fucking compromised or what. I'm not trying to make shit up. I'm just trying to say his actions make no sense to me. And I don't know what's going on with the economy over in the UK, and the fact that, someone mentioned that they had cut services to elderly through NHS and other things. And I know there was talk of him doing cuts. I just never followed through on what the details of that were. So I don't understand. I don't understand. Steal the stop. I don't know. What else I got here? Let me see what else I can offer that is worthy of your time. What can I offer you that is worthy of your time? Na, 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 na. Oh, yeah. I guess I could read this tomorrow about the Saudis deal with the $2 billion deal that he's going to Saudi Arabia to ink next week for the stable coin. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, actually. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're going to talk about the one big beautiful bill tomorrow. Actually, that's true. I've got a lot of work to do today. We're going to talk about we're going to, kind of talk about the trade deals a little bit. Like where are we at in trade tomorrow at Fuck Financial Friday tomorrow morning, by the way. So we're going to talk about where the trade deals are. I want to talk about the stablecoin boondoggle. Go back to that, the wealth fund, which is really what this $2 billion is. So I want to figure out that. I want to tease that one out a little bit. I also wanted to talk. Wait, I had written it down. Hold on. Ooh. I wrote it down. I made a list of stuff to pack for my camping trip. I'm so excited. I got to find a place to camp. I've been looking. It's not that I haven't been looking. It's just that I can't. Oh my God, there's so many stupid notes in here. Na, 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 na. What did I write? Oh, I wrote it down somewhere else. Never mind. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Well, first of all, Jane, I still have that documentary, The Guard. Oh, that's it. Oh, and the tax cuts. Yeah, I want to talk about the tax cut proposal that is in one big beautiful bill, and some of the interesting things that I've read about the connection between that one big beautiful bill and the tariffs and corporate taxes, and why that's important. I'm not saying I'm going to answer all those questions. I'm just saying that's what I want to poke around in tomorrow. So I hope you'll poke around in that with me. But I think I'm going to wrap early because, frankly, I just don't think I can stand listening to any of these Republicans. I think I've reached my maximum. But I will be back tomorrow morning, and tomorrow night we have a movie night. We haven't figured out. I don't know, Max, if you have a selection. If you don't, we can always come up with another B movie. I've got some too that you've inspired me to seek out. So if you don't have one for tomorrow, I'm happy to come up with some suggestions as well. I never mean to put that on you as a task. That is never a task for you, my darling. I'm always just delighted when you suggest things. But tomorrow night I was thinking, okay, we could watch The Rock, which is a good Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery, two total assholes, but that's unfortunately we're surrounded. Okay. So sorry about that. We're surrounded. I reach my maximum with 0% of the audio and visual. It's true. It's true. But I was thinking of The Rock as one movie we could watch. Yeah, Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery, again, two total assholes, but we're surrounded. There was also Escape from Alcatraz. This was a la the stupid thing about the Australia. It's hard to get things that can be shown in other countries. That's why I'm happy to also help make suggestions. So I don't want you to feel that. I don't want that to become a task. Clint probably isn't an asshole. Oh no, he's a total asshole. That's the other one. Escape from Alcatraz, Clint Eastwood. He's a total ass. They're all assholes. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But The Rock I found The Rock to be a very entertaining movie, but I don't know. I like a lot of weird movies. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to have movies tomorrow night on the Discord, so don't miss it, please. It's so much fun. What film is on top of mind collective idiocy? What film is top of mind collective idiocy? Oh man. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, we're going to do movies tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'm going to work on the financial show today, at least try to pull some shit together so I don't look like a total asshole tomorrow morning when I try and lead you through the garden. Lead you down the garden path. He's old though. Maybe some of it is that. No, Jane, I'm not giving no. Okay. No. He was mayor of Carmel in California. And all right. So I knew about him growing up. Yeah, it could have been the era, but that was also my dad's era, and my dad wasn't an asshole like he was, so I'm not buying it. I'm not giving those old guys that much. And he had a chance to really change, and he just decided not to. So, go fuck himself. He knows better. He knows better. He lived in a pretty liberal area in California. I mean, it was still rich, but at least in the 70s and 80s, there was definitely now I'm talking about Clint Eastwood. In the 70s and 80s when he was around Carmel and shit like that. When he started coming up to Carmel, that was a hippie enclave at that point. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I meant dies with him. Yeah, it dies with him. I hope it does. I really do. I really do. Rapture faster. No. Yeah, there's definitely some antiquated attitudes he has. Yes, Clint Eastwood is better silent behind the camera. Yes, Clint's an older Mel Gibson, just a dick. Yeah, exactly, Jane. He's just a big dick. He should know better. He knows better. He knows better. And he benefits from all of the groups that he seeks to dehumanize, right? LGBTQ and he benefits from the industry that he's in, that so many people are part of marginalized classes, and he doesn't give a shit. So he can go fuck himself. Anyway. Sorry, Clint. I didn't mean to go hard on you this morning, darling. Mel Gibson was great in Year of Living Dangerously. I had someone who really I loved very dearly who loved that movie. I never watched it. I never watched it. It's so funny. Huh. Oh, what are we saying? They pick a pope. It's a great pope.
So please continue to follow our latest updates on our website, of course.
Okay, well, never mind. Is that old? Yeah, the movie. The movie's an old one. It's from the 80s, I think. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver and him, and they're like journalists or something in like South America, like trying to escape a war or something. I can't remember, but I did have a really good friend who loved that movie so much. Oh my god, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Vietnam. Yes. Forgive me. Yeah, I think it was that. And Linda Hunt. That's right. Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I never did see that movie. Never did see that. Maybe I'll have to. No, probably won't. 45,000 K at Popecella. Fuck yeah. Look at all the people. Look at all the people. Are they like boy, can you imagine being on the square when the white smoke comes out? It must get really, really hopping. Don't you think? It probably gets real hopping on the square. I wonder if let's see if we can hear any birds or bells. Oh, there we go. No, you can't hear any like birds or oh look at there's a bird on top. There's a bird on it. Hi, how you doing? Oh, I was hoping there'd be like bells. I'll put it low. Just in case. Anyway. What song was that, Max? Nigel Steele. Oh, no, I forgot what you typed about that. Yeah, so think about what movie you guys want. I know, I love these birds. These birds are hilarious. They don't mean to be, but they're just naturally funny. And my camping trip. I'm so excited. I got to find a campground. Like I got to narrow in. Actually, I've been looking and there are places, so I'm not totally waiting for Nigel XTC. Making plans for Nigel. Oh, making plans for Nigel. Okay. Oh, cool. I haven't heard XTC in a long time. I'll have to listen to that. Yeah, I'm so excited. You know, a lot of places don't let you car camp. Like, you have to have, like, an RV. You know that? That's weird. Like, why don't you just let me sleep in my car if it looks like it's a bigger car. I don't know. Anyway. When journalist Guy Hamilton, Mel Gibson, arrives in Jakarta, Indonesia, he has difficulty making contacts. So he finds Sigourney Weaver, who introduces him to Zool. He forms a friendship with the dwarf photographer Billy Kwan, Linda Hunt, though through whom he meets British diplomat. Oh, Jill Bryant, Sigourney Weaver. Bryant falls for Hamilton. Oh, someplace you can't have a vintage RV? Oh, that's interesting. I guess, yeah. I mean, I get what they're saying. They don't want I guess they don't. But I mean, I'm like staying for a few nights. It's not like I'm like one and done, you know? That's right. Linda Hunt won the Oscar for that. I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but if I'm booking like, you know, a few nights, I would think it'd be more serious. You know what I mean? It's like I'm going to pay for it up front. I am excited, Teresa. I am excited. I know they don't want, well, I am pretty trashy. I mean, there. Wait, so that is coverage of the East Timor genocide as a journalistic love story? Yep. Yeah, the Year of Living Dangerously is what it's called. Yes, that's it. You got it. Through the eyes of love. I don't know. I never watched it. Okay, I liked Signs. Oh, I love that movie. I can almost forget that that's Mel Gibson. I can. Would you stop it? Yeah, he has not ruined that movie for me. Oddly enough, isn't that funny? Me too. I love that movie, Jane. I absolutely love that movie. Says I did really like the romantic plot of The Killing Fields. It sounds like pulp, but plays with realism. Yeah. I would not. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it'd be a movie I'd show on Friday night. Let's put it that way. Because sometimes that stuff is just. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That Killing Fields is an excellent film. That was a really amazing film. Yeah, I have to think about what for tomorrow night. I guess, The Rock is a pretty good movie. We'll have to see. Redemptive. Oh, yeah. Just so informative, too, right? Like, the movie really educated people in ways that they hadn't necessarily been educated before. Those movies are way too new for movies at the Discord. Yeah, I know. Exactly. I think The Rock is a great film. Yeah, I know. Definitely. And Max, I can come up with some stuff and throw it out there for you to look at too. I have no problem doing that. You've inspired me. You've inspired my B movie obsession. So I'm so grateful to you for reopening my eyes to the beauty of B films or whatever you want to call them, cult films, whatever you want to call them, because some of them are not B films, quite significant production. But okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming today. I think we'll cut it short. We'll have a little short wake and bake today. And I will definitely see you tomorrow morning. Yeah. Yeah. Forgive me for bringing A films to the we've watched some A films. We've watched some A films. It's just fun. Okay, that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to have fun. I'm just trying to have fun Friday night. Fun Friday night where I don't have to think of anything. Also, RadPod is today 4 o'clock, I think, is their time. 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern. So take a look for Radicalized Pod here on the YouTubios. And then tomorrow night, you may want to catch the 5/8 because there might be some voices on the karaoke song. I don't know what ended up on the cutting room floor, but there might be some voices on the karaoke song in the 5/8 that you recognize. Again, I don't edit the final product, so. But I'm just saying, with all great thanks to Greg, who is so gracious for reaching out when he needs a little singing support. Yeah, you might recognize some of the voices, plural. That's a teaser. All right. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Let's hope we find a pope today, yeah? Come on now. Come on, pope it up. That's right. A little bit of Lolo. I don't know if it's a lot. Again, I really don't know what he ended up being able to use, so. Or if anything. You can't have an ego when it comes to that. You have to let the editor do their thing. All right. I love you guys. I will, maybe. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. I hope your Thursday's good. I hope it's solid, and I hope you get some rest. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.